Welcome to the Vanilla to Vixen podcast. This show contains adult content, so if you are under 18 or easily offended, please switch off now. Mr. and Mrs. N are not qualified relationship counsellors. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Now the disclaimer is out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy our journey from Vanilla to Vixen.
Welcome to episode 150 of Vanilla to Vixen. We are your hosts, Mr. and Mrs. N, and we're also known as...
The Naughty Couple!
Now, do you remember when we did that episode in a hotel room where we had about 20 odd swingers? Well, this one, we've got 150 swingers in the hotel room. I'm going to go through everybody here. We have got, obviously, Mrs. N.
Yes.
We've got Roger and the Cabin Girl. We've got Saucy and Busty. We've got Mr. and Mrs. Mother Trucker. And we have got the fabulous Mr. and Mrs. H, also known as the Crunchy Minstrels.
Oh. Say hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. It's got to be one of those.
We're in the secret hotel that, well, it's not much of a secret anymore, but we won't divulge anymore, just in case one person doesn't know. And here we are. We were only ever going to do 6 of these episodes, and here we are on episode 150.
Yes, and we decided we needed to make it a good one.
We did.
So we've got the V to V crew.
I know. This is like, I can't believe everybody's here. Here we are in one hotel room.
Well, not quite everybody's here. Unfortunately, we are missing Mr. and Mrs. Bella.
Yes. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Bella.
Yes. We're sorry that you're not here, but I know you've got muggle things to do.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We're not sorry, it's hot in here as it is.
So yes, we thought because it's 150, we needed to do something a little bit special.
Absolutely, yes. So we thought we could share everyone's experience into why they think it's shit here. And Saucy has his own sign now that says it's shit here. He keeps holding it up like one of those warm-up comedians when it says applause, and now he's dangling it from his knob. So we start off the show as normal with a little joke. So I'm going to tell you this little story. Do you know the phrase, one man's trash is another man's treasure? It's a wonderful saying, but a horrible way to find out you're adopted.
Bloody hell.
There we go.
I can only apologise. I'm so sorry.
I'm using that one.
We all are.
So we start off, we're about to go off to V the Sweet Treats party. So you're hearing this a couple of weeks later. And what's everyone's expectations of tonight? Although we always say go with no expectations, we know that that's bullshit and everyone has them.
What, mate? I don't know. Expectations? I don't know.
Roger's got none.
It's true that. It was a case of, in the hobby, you say no expectations, but why do you shave your nedders if you're going to do that?
You see?
Good point.
That's a good point.
And why do you pop a blue pill thinking, 3 hours later, well, that's a fucking waste of money, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So we know that you're all prepared.
Possibly. Will be.
So he shaved his cock and he's got a blue pill in his pocket. He's just expecting a night of social fun.
No expectations.
Exactly. No expectations. Mr. Mother Trucker.
Oh God. I don't like these. Expectations. Just to go out and have a jolly good time.
There we go.
Have a bit of fun.
He doesn't care about anyone else, he's just going to have a good time himself.
Yeah, got any of them blue pills?
So Smarties.
When you're in the bathroom.
Saucy.
My expectations are bloody chaos because I've seen your guest list. You should have been shot years ago.
Yeah, I have overindulged a little bit in the guest list department.
Mine down the A5.
Everyone keeps telling me that size doesn't matter, so I just keep adding to it. What about the cabin girl and the beautiful Mrs. Mother Trucker? Do you have expectations tonight?
Well, I didn't, but I do now. My expectations is if he doesn't get it, I'm dead.
The after party?
Yeah, definitely. You've seen the booze in her place, haven't you? Yeah.
There is more booze in their room than in the whole bar.
All of it is non-secco, though, for those that don't tend to drink very much.
There we go. Mrs. Mother Trucker.
Not really, just to go and have a good time.
There we go. She's asleep already. She's laying on
She's
the
on
bed.
prosecco, not non-secco.
I've not had a nap, so I'm really tired.
She wakens up at midnight.
Back in the 90s, there used to be a programme called The Big Breakfast. This is called The Big Sleep.
You'll find me in the corner of Liv somewhere having a little nap later.
About 8:45.
Hang on, she's doing
You can't. I was going to say you're on duty. You can't never off.
Okay, quarter to 11 then.
And we've got Mr. and Mrs. H. Expectations.
You're the nice orator.
He does have nice oral skills. I've seen
I'm not one to blow my own horn, but I would if I bloody could.
Talented man.
Expectations for tonight. I don't know, just have a good time. I know it's going to be busy. So
Really?
Yeah, I know, right? So I'm hoping to, be social, chat to a bunch of people, get in the hot tub, and just relax and have a bloody good night.
Good luck.
That sounds pretty good.
Oh, I'll get in the hot tub.
Busty, we've got the beautiful Busty who's laying on the bottom of the bed, already with expectations. You've not seen the position she's laying in.
No, that's asleep, darling.
Oh no!
I'll be joining
Mrs. Mother Trucker in the corner of the Libs having a nap.
About 8:45. You see, we're absolute party animals.
It's real hardcore, isn't it?
join it.
No, this is it.
So what do you guys when you?
Jesus Christ!
It's only serves a sweet treat.
You got your clothes off really quickly. Really quickly.
You've seen that before.
Look,
That's going in the footnotes.
I love a squishy. I'm going to have some.
Oh, we got squishy.
We've got Mr. Mother Trucker and Saucy have just come in stark bollock naked with celebrations covering their nether region.
Would you like a sweet?
There's a hole in the side of that top, isn't there?
Aye, that's a biscuit and a half.
Can I get a hard sweet?
Would you like one that's long or would you like one that's hard?
Oh, as long as it works.
Long and hard.
As long as it works. So guys, I know obviously we've known you guys for quite a while. And you are amazing. You are part of our crew, and you look after us, and you help do our tours, and you help any newbies that come to the events to feel really relaxed and everything like that. But if somebody said to you, you need to go to a V2V party, what do you think of when you say V2V?
That's a good question.
Yeah, just the fun and the social side. Anything else is a bonus. But it's just the atmosphere. It's a really good atmosphere. We did V2V for our very first one, and we've not looked back. Just the atmosphere. It's just epic.
There's nothing.
And the people.
It's really weird because you don't know what to expect when you go. And our first party was last year's sweet treat party, wasn't it?
Was that your first party?
That was our first party when it turned
Yeah,
out
you gave
looking
us
like an
ice
ice cream.
Welcome.
But it's really weird thinking that we're 9 months down the line,
Yeah.
Wow.
and the amount of friends that we've got. We've got a lot more friends now that we can really connect with, and that we don't have any worries about what we say or how we say it. We don't have any worries about, I don't know, what people think of us, because actually we can just be us. And I get dead excited whenever we go to parties, and I think we put so much effort in because we want to give back some of what we've got from it.
Oh, bless you.
And it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun. Brilliant, love it.
So, if you've listened to previous podcasts, you'll know that we have spoken to Saucy and Busty, and we know how they got into the naughty hobby. The lovely mother truckers, we know how they got into the naughty hobby. But the two couples that are here that we haven't actually heard their stories of how they got into the naughty hobby. So guess what, guys? Who wants to go first?
Mr. H.
Mr. H.
Everybody's looking at me.
Come on, Mr. H. How did you and the lovely Mrs. H get into this naughtiness?
I love the fact Miss H has gone all shy.
I've never seen her so quiet.
I have.
I know, right? I just need to put a mic in her face. How did we get into this? So, it's a long story.
I like documentaries, and I watch a lot of documentaries.
Yes.
And I watch documentaries on everything, and we watched the swinging documentaries.
Yeah, the Channel 4 one.
But I decided it probably wasn't really for me, but you researched the shit out of everything.
Yes.
So you'd actually thought this isn't for me when you first watched it?
Yeah, because, I didn't think it would be for me, because I'm very social. I go out to nightclubs a lot, I like drinking, I like live bars. But blokes just grope and poke, don't they?
Yeah.
That's not really, that's really easy to do, and that fucks up relationships.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know very much about swinging, so I just thought that's probably what it is, and that's probably not for me.
Off the back of that, we were talking about, sexy stuff and sexual fantasies and experiences and things like that, and really working on, our communication and things. And it was around that time that Mrs. H came out as bi to me. And bear in mind, at the time, we've been married 25 years, and I had absolutely no clue.
I had a 2-year relationship with a woman before I met Mr. H, but I didn't tell her.
Whilst we were talking, I shared also that, I'm bi-curious, haven't bi-curious. To which she responded, everyone knows you're bi, except for you. which is true, I know, not you. I love flirting with guys, it's so fun. But I've never really had any bi experience, because that just wasn't the thing. The way I was brought up, it just something very repressed. I also have very specific. Well, I thought I had very specific types when it comes to me. I don't fancy every man. Which is what men worry about. Oh my god, if you're bi or gay, you're just going to come on to me. So we were talking about that, and then we were like, well, how can we explore this side of ourselves, and how can we, do this together? And we come up with all sorts of wacky schemes, didn't we? Because where we live is a very sort of close community, because obviously we're from the Isle of Wight, which I don't mind people knowing. Everybody knows everybody. So we're like, well, what do we do? Do we go to the mainland? How do we find people? Do we hire an escort? So, I've had wonderful time searching around adultfriendfinder.com and various other sites. and then that's when swinging came up again. But as Mrs. H said, is this lifestyle for us? because what's it all about? Because we're still in that keys in a bowl mindset.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing, and
you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know what you don't know, and and it all comes across as very sleazy, and So I started listening to. I found your podcast actually from. Where did I find it? I think I looked at the Liberty Elite website.
Yeah.
And then we found the V2V parties, and it said for newbies, and so we talked about that. It's for new couples. I started listening to the podcast. I listen to one every day. I'd go for a 5k walk, listen to the podcast.
I think though our decision took a year, because we gave ourselves a year to be in because we listened to the podcast and it talks about kinks in marriages, and it's probably not for you if jealousies, and if there's anything, it's going to highlight the issues. So actually we spent a good 6 months to a year making sure that we were okay and that we were solid as a couple before even attempting to turn up at a club. That might not be everyone's journey, and they might not need that amount of time, but I think that we felt that we did, just to talk about what we wanted to explore sexually, what was okay for us, rules and boundaries, on all those types of things. We spent some time, didn't we?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time talking
about it.
And then last January 2024, we finally came along to the club. Went to, it was a Vegas Vixens. Didn't know anybody.
I can't believe that.
didn't know anybody. There was a lovely lady, G, who said that she would meet us there. And so she met us there, and she took us around the club, and she hung out with us for about an hour.
I had a fab time. We were scared.
Yeah.
My people, we can all get naked. I'm very familiar with this. Yes, they're having sex over there. Oh my god, what's happening there? This is great, hot tub fab. And I didn't realise that he just wanted to hide in a corner and throw up.
I was the same.
Yeah, I know, it's funny. A lot of the people that we talk to, and couples and things that we talk to, sometimes it's funny, because in the beginning I think the women can be a little bit more apprehensive about it, and like, I'm not really sure. Obviously not Busty, because she's just given me a bit of a face. But when you get there, it always seems to be that the guys are the ones that actually clam up a little bit.
We have these great ideas, us guys, and then it happens and we go, oh Christ.
Oh God, what have I done?
First time I walked into that main playroom, I lasted 30 seconds, walked out, and went,
yeah, it was hard. It was a really weird, surreal experience, and if I'm honest, I did think it would be Mrs. H that would have the issues, but then I think that just goes to show that.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it just goes to show that maybe we did need some more communication in our lives to understand where each other were.
Yeah.
And it took me a very long time. So we've been in for 6 months. It took 6 months to have a play.
Yeah.
And that was a little gentle swap. And then it took another 5 months to have a more involved soft play. And then about 4 or 5 weeks ago, maybe a bit longer, we had our first full swap. So it's been like a year and a half journey.
Yeah, but this is the thing. There's no time scale to it.
No, absolutely
because
not.
All of you are on your own journey. You don't, it's not a race. You don't have to keep up with other people. It's about you as a couple and what works for you. So yeah, I mean, I think that your actual story is lovely. I think it's so sweet that you really care about each other that much that you thought, no, we're not going to rush into anything. We're just going to take a time. We'll see how we feel doing different things, and it'll just happen when it happens.
We've had frustration that we've had to discuss, haven't we? Just because one's been faster than the other in another area.
Yeah.
But I think you can only move as fast as the slowest person if you want things to be correct and solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's really good 100%. Advice as well.
Yeah.
And again, I'm the slow one. But I'm man enough to admit that.
Hold on, just round the room.
Wrong with that?
Hands up, men. Are we all the slowest? I am. Mr. H said you are.
Yeah, I am.
Mr. Mother Trucker's put his hands up.
We'll just have a discussion about it. I've got to say, he's very different. Yeah, we're very different, aren't we?
It's weird because when I was a young teenage man, I would. I was the bike. I really was. It was.
When you said you did the bike, I thought you just had a big chopper.
No. Oh, I wish.
It was the seat post.
No, when I was, I was very active when I was a young man. If I had a pulse, awesome. As I've got, I wasn't picky. as a sort of, obviously I've been married to Mrs. H for a very long time, but and you sort of go into this lifestyle thinking I can be that 18-year-old guy again, or is this what I'm going to be? And you sort of think, is it going to be that? Is it not going to be that? But it turns out, no, it's not. And I just need that sort of connection, and we've taken it really slow, and we've had a bloody good time there.
Yeah, we have.
And Roger and the Cabin Girl, tell us your story.
Over to me, is it?
Yeah, over to you. I'll depress it with my bit.
Feel free to jump in.
Okay.
We met, 1996, didn't we?
Yeah.
We're both from an ex-forces background. For those that aren't familiar with the forces background, there's a lot of, whenever people go away on things like detachments, you have detachment rules. Yeah. So you leave everything at home and you go away, and whatever happens there stays there, come back and normal life resumes. But when we basically met, we had a common interest,
yes,
which was motorbiking.
Yep.
And we got together through mutual motorbiking friends. And it just so happens that I got posted 200 miles away, all of a sudden, out of the blue.
Just after buying a house.
Just after buying a house and settling down. And it turned out that we were both of the we were always very open with each other, weren't we?
Yeah.
We found each other quite promiscuous, which I don't think either of us realised beforehand.
Oh.
With each other anyway, but we always had a reputation for being late.
Yeah.
What do you mean for being? You still are.
Oh, but that's because I'm putting my makeup on.
5 hours later.
So when I got posted away, we knew that I was going to be away for at least a year, and we decided that we had friends down where we lived, and we had friends up north. Well, I had friends up north, and we decided that we would play detachment roles. So basically,
to save an action man grip on me,
Roger had a play with one of my ex-work colleagues.
Yeah.
And I had a secret admirer that every time we went out, all of a sudden he ended up in bed with me for some reason. Deny it throughout the day, nobody actually knew about this apart from me and him. And then I would just go home and at the weekends and we would have a bit of fun and have a really exciting talk and have our own entertainment.
We'd be late for going out again.
We'd be late for going out. And then basically as time went on, we sort of moved away out of the forces side of things.
Yeah.
But that continued with us. We started having a look at, what was that website?
Local Swingers.
Local Swingers, yeah.
I've not heard of that one.
Yeah.
It's very local. It's not in your area.
It's just for local people.
It's just for local
It was early 2000s, and we got chatting to a couple, and it was on cam at the time. We had to buy a camcorder to get into the computer. Webcam, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What was it, Betamax or VHS?
We were beyond that. We did have dial-up at the time.
sound.
There was no such thing as broadband. But yeah, we ended up talking to them regularly, didn't we?
Yeah.
And things were starting to move forward. We were starting to have a bit of a plan. We were starting to expand and look into things. We did decide on maybe getting a single guy in. We had a bit of sort of social meet with a guy, didn't we?
Yeah.
And the day before I found out I was pregnant.
No.
Which my darling husband very kindly announced to me the night before I even knew. So I had to go and take a test, and it was like, I'm pregnant.
How did you know?
He did it twice. He knew I was pregnant before I did.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about something else.
No, we didn't much bother.
How on earth did you know?
There was something. That was it. My mum or my gran used to do. You do the old divining with a swinging needle.
Yeah.
What was that?
Now he tells me.
Wow. Because I know with us as ladies, we do have a bit of a sixth sense.
Yeah.
You can normally tell when a woman's pregnant. Mrs.
we
H is just shaking her
We
head.
were trying, but we'd been very, very extremely lucky in that we'd literally only been trying for sort of like...
Hours.
It was about 6 weeks before we realised. It was only about 6 weeks when we started trying that we actually found out I was pregnant. It was like really weird.
Yeah, because you're meant to have a long period after coming off the contraceptives, and oh well.
But we obviously, So we decided at that point that it wouldn't be the best time for us, didn't we?
No. So.
But now the kids are older.
So you had that period while you had the kids that you stayed
stuck to vanilla life, which is the most boring thing.
Yeah, we did things that are like. Was it watching pretty much anything related on the TV?
Yeah.
We even went back to the old Sexcetera type thing. Remember that?
Yes.
Wow. Those clubs look fun, don't they? Yep.
Eurotrash as well.
I used to love Eurotrash.
I've always wanted to try naked skiing.
Wow!
It was on Eurotrash once, naked skiing.
Can you ski with your clothes on?
I can't ski at all.
Are you talking about a different type of skiing?
I've seen Mrs. N do that.
Well, you know, as women, we can multitask. So that's
Seriously?
yeah, we think Busty's nodded off.
Busty's actually gone.
Yeah, it's interesting. So your stories, each couple, that's so different. Which is what I love about hearing everybody's stories, how they get into the naughty hobby, because everybody's story is different.
Well, you actively went looking for podcasts and things to get the spark going.
Well, so because of the old COVID thing, I got made redundant.
Yeah.
So I ended up working an hour and a half away from home.
Yeah.
And it was a case of sat on the motorway at whatever time in the morning, and you just sat there, listen to the same album again and again and again. So you go start looking at podcast. So we found one, and it was a bit. And then we found yours, and listen to this one.
Yeah, and that was it.
Yeah.
Then it was Discord.
It was Mr. N's jokes, wasn't it? That's what got you. Yeah.
Sorry, what were they?
It was the thought of sitting in a hotel room naked with a box of Celebration.
Damn, I'm not naked.
We can solve that. Stand back, I'm going in.
I'm quite loving the idea that half of the gentlemen in this room are half naked. They're just wearing boxers.
I know, it is about 45 degrees.
I'm not
Yeah, my stats
complaining.
on 26 and a half. My
Doesn't feel like 26.
We're just acclimatising you for later on in the big playroom.
Have you ever seen those clubs that have pizza ovens?
Oh, we got a story.
We was talking about pizza ovens. I didn't realise that the female glory holes, I literally ripped him a new one saying they were serving pizza and he didn't get me a slice. I didn't realise there was the female glory holes. Because, well, many of you do.
I only saw my first pizza oven for the first time last weekend.
Yeah,
oh my god, not a chance.
I genuinely thought the club was serving hot pizza and I was like, oh, starving.
But you have eaten cheesy chips in your underwear.
Oh, I have. That's ticked off my list. Definitely.
There's nothing better than cheesy chips.
I want a Sunday roast in my underwear. Well, it's probably the wrong one. I want a Sunday roast. It's not Monday.
The sausage
What day is it tomorrow?
Sunday.
Ooh.
And as we have the lovely Mrs. Mother Trucker here live,
Yes.
we can do this week's Fun Fact Friday.
But we need the tune. Fun Fact Friday.
Right, so this week's Fun Fact Friday is...
A useless, interesting fact. Never odd or even spelled backwards is never odd or even.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it is.
I love that. It's my favourite part of the show. I love it.
I know.
I love it.
The rest of it is shit.
I did have to fact check him. I was like, is that actually true?
I love that you take this very seriously, you see.
I do.
It's important. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, today's fun fact is, there's no actual pizzas inside Pizza Hut.
Not the Swingers Club, anyway.
We were in a club last weekend and we spoke to a friend of ours who actually had a camper van parked in the car park.
Yeah.
And she figured out that was it Just Eats actually delivered camper vans now. So she finished in
If it
the
was Just Eats or Uber Eats.
or Uber Eats, something like that. So finished in the club, went out, stayed in her camper van, ordered her some food, and they delivered it to the camper van in the car park. She said this was genius.
That's amazing.
She's living the best life.
Living the best life. So in the club till 2, 2:30, pizza arrives, boom, job done.
I'd never leave that car park. You got a club and your van, takeaways.
Done.
What was the address? The Rocking Camp.
I'll come and knock in if the cam's rocking.
Yeah, camper van, corner of Cam's car park.
The one that rocks.
So I'm interested, because you guys have been to different clubs, not always the same club. Do you do you get different experiences from different clubs that you go to, or do you think the principle is always the same, or?
Oh no, they're all different.
They're all different.
Yeah.
If you could change one thing about each club, what would it be?
Nothing, because I think they're all unique in their own way. So I wouldn't change anything about lids, I wouldn't change anything about cans. You know, their differences are what makes them what they are.
Saucy's shaking his head.
I'd
Mrs.
make
H is-
Purple Mamba bigger.
I'd make Purple Mamba bigger. I'd remove the bar and libs and put it where the kitchen is.
Yeah.
Because getting past that bar is a bloody nightmare when you're doing tours, because Mr. N has no self-control over the guest list. I'd make Mamba a lot bigger. And Cams, I'd give everyone a map on the way in.
I need a map.
You and me both, Renee. First time we went there.
Townhouse is good as it is. I like that one.
Need to go back.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we've not been to Townhouse, have we?
Not been to Townhouse and Mirage. Has anyone here been to Mirage yet?
No, but it's got really good reviews.
In his
I know
previous
people.
Yeah, I think we should all just turn up at Mirage together.
Oh, shall we? Cruise trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that.
I'm in.
He's such a tease.
Okay. It's a Mr. H and I thing.
That's right.
So Mr. H and I will flirt together, and perfectly fine. And then they go, well, you know, and I go, no, not you.
I think it's fair to say as well that we should let people know that Mr. H is the absolute star of our Discord.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Absolute star of our Discord.
Yeah. We wouldn't know what to do without him.
Definitely not.
So yeah, we've got a few more extra rules now in our Discord, and I'll be honest, I don't understand how any of them work. I see little scripts pop up. Roger's shaking his head; he's got no idea. Should I go away? Be gone. So what do people now? They have to write, don't they, every 60 days, otherwise they get kicked from the Discord.
So yeah, first of all, we did a big Discord purge to get rid of people that are just inactive on Discord in general, and that got rid of literally hundreds of accounts. Then we decided to Mr. Horny brought in the booty bot, but it wasn't really set up and configured. And then we spoke as an admin team, how often do people need to post in the server, and we settled on 60 days.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, so if anybody doesn't speak for 60 days, they'll be removed from the server. It's nothing personal, and everybody is always welcome to rejoin the server in the future, but it's basically just to keep the server active and vibrant, and prevent lurkers, really, because that is one of the issues that people raised, that there's lurkers on the server and they didn't like it.
Yeah.
The beauty about the Discord, as Mr. H was saying, is there were quite a few lurkers on there.
Yeah.
And actually, in getting rid of those, it's all about the community.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I think that's the thing that people from outside this life don't get. It is a community, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everybody seems to get to know each other. The regular faces. New people that come in are more obvious because you don't know them, so it's actually easier to pinpoint them and welcome them. And see who's going to integrate. You can get to know people. One of the things that we loved about our first sort of Sweet Treats party was the fact that we'd been on the Discord, or I'd been on the Discord 6 months. You'd poked your head in about 3 months beforehand.
What is it?
But we got to know people's faces.
Yeah.
So everybody's got their own
and their tits.
sort of names. And the tits and the willies. But everybody's got their own Discord names.
Until they get changed. And then it all go out of the place.
Of course. But you get to know the person as well a little bit. And yes, okay, it's all sort of on a platform, and technically actually you don't really know who it is you're talking to, but when you actually get to meet that person, I remember on our first night when we were given our little tickets to go round and try and match up with people. Funnily enough, one of my biggest things is if I'm not feeling confident about something, I'm actually sort of like I'm so withdrawn and backwards, and you've got no chance of getting me out. But when I feel confident and comfortable, I'm a totally different person. So my biggest thing was going round, and I focused as an ice cream. I focused on these things. I decided to go all out and just say, hi, I'm here. And I just went round and just spoke to these random people, and these random people I was like, oh my god, it's so and so, you're in the Discord, we're such and so, oh my god, hi. And I felt as though I knew so many people because we'd had that pre-chat, and we'd got to know people, so we were absolutely, well, I was quaking in my boots coming in, you weren't, but it was like, oh my god, it's saucy and busting. we were saucy and busting. Oh, it's the Foxes. Oh my god, that's Mr. and Mrs. M. It is very surreal because when you look at these things on a Discord, it's not real.
Yeah.
So when you meet the people, all of a sudden, it's real.
But I think, and this is just a personal thing, I think that's what, for me, sets V2V apart. Because
it's very different experience to Fab Swingers.
But you walk in and it's, I think somebody asked earlier, what is it about V2V that really goes? And I've never been in one place with just so many happy, smiling, open individuals. Right, because everyone is just there, and you never see a grumpy face. Everyone's just there, willing to talk to people. Everyone's got some connections. Well, almost never. Mrs. Mother Trucker's just growled at me. But and it's a case of lots of people have lots of different connections and are willing to introduce you to their connections. Yeah. And it's like a big family tree, only not like that. Not like a family. Maybe family wasn't the best thing, unless you're in Norfolk.
All the pretzels.
Mister.
Oh, he's awful.
Must he just buried her face forever?
I've seen her bury her face before.
I was going to say, I got excited there.
So, have we got any ideas for future themes for parties?
Oh, can we do a superhero one, please?
A superhero party?
Superheroes and villains.
I don't see why not.
I'd definitely be a villain.
A villain, who would you be?
Oh, I don't know. I'd probably come as Harley Quinn, because I'm a bit
Yes.
crazy.
I can see you. Yeah, definitely see you. Yeah.
Well, I've got a bat, and I've got that in my car.
What, like a baseball bat?
Yeah, I'll carry a baseball bat in my car. I have extreme road rage, so...
You should listen to that, my darling.
I'll show it.
Not just for female defence then.
How come you sit over there?
Again, batshit crazy.
Mr. H is trapped behind the microphone.
I do have to put some balls in my car though. If I ever get pulled over by the police, all I've got is a bat.
Oh, you mean that type of ball?
Yeah.
Just tell him you're going for some dogging.
Do you know what? My friend is supposed to take me dogging and she's not took me out. And I'm really disappointed.
I wouldn't worry, darling. You'll be really disappointed if you go. No, I shouldn't say that because it does work for some people, but it wasn't for us, was it, Mr. A?
It was a little bit disappointing, really.
I just want to watch and see what's going on. I've never been dogging before.
Come to the Isle of Wight, they dog everywhere.
Oh, do
Really?
Dog, yes, it's all over the Isle of Wight.
Everywhere.
No clubs, why not?
Well,
You
apparently
don't need one.
there was one in Ventnor,
There was one.
but you have to be an experienced swinger.
Yeah,
We decided maybe there's badges.
I was just about to say, how can you tell if you're experienced or
but
not?
like, you know, like when you swim 5
Yes.
metres and you get a badge.
Yes.
Cub
So
Scouts.
maybe, yeah,
Not
maybe.
just on the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I've
this
got-
is actually the
I've got
conversation
my
that made us
cunnilingus badge.
Haven't got your rosy badge.
No.
No, you need a rosy
You have to get a
badge.
rosy badge.
Where do you sew your badges?
On his car.
Yeah, on my yeah.
It'll be your V2V towel.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, we could get B2B towels.
Could get V2V towels.
Yes,
Our very own
absolutely.
special towels.
We tried them.
We've got them at home, love.
No, you have.
We did try towels, didn't
We
we?
did, yes.
Yes.
We do have a V2V towel.
We do. And
We
we were
had a
very...
very nice email back saying no towels.
Yeah, you ordered a towel just to think as we'd finished doing
Yes.
it.
We ordered it for
Yeah,
me.
I know. Funny enough, it was a bit disappointed because we thought it would be a really cool idea and that they would go like hotcakes, and nobody ordered one.
I didn't realise it was you that ordered the towel. I sent you a very formal email back. I could have just phoned you up and gone, no, we don't do them anymore.
I was very privileged.
Anybody else got anything they want to talk about?
Tits and cock.
I thought you weren't into cock.
I'm not. And cock's not into me either.
Despite best efforts.
Not good. Oh, I wish this was a video camera.
I really wish it was.
It's shit here.
I would just like to say before we go, thank you to all of you for literally being V2V.
Yes.
And without you, it wouldn't exist.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for
Very
putting
privileged.
V2V together in the first place.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have gotten into this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Actually, we wouldn't have met.
these people.
No?
Yeah?
Just think how good you'd have been at golf by now.
But that's a different type of swinging.
Actually,
Just
I have
thinking
to-
Mrs. Mother Trucker with her baseball bat.
I do have to tell this story. So I started a new job recently, And first team meeting, there's 20 of us sort of in this room, and everyone's sort of saying something, and it comes to one gentleman who will remain nameless, and he said something, and the boss goes, "Oh yeah, were you out swinging again last night?" and I sort of went, "Oh, right." And this conversation sort of went on a bit, okay? And I was like, And every now and again on a Teams call or something, somebody went, "Oh yeah, he's been swinging, hasn't he? He's a swinger. Maybe he's on the swinging app spiking Sunday." And I'm sitting there thinking, do I come out? So it was the following week, I was out with one of the girls from work and stopped for lunch, and I went, "So, so-and-so, is he a swinger?" And she went, No, he's a member of a tennis club." And the boss just likes to take the piss because he thinks it's a ruse that he is a swinger, and that's just what he uses as a ruse. And I'm sitting there thinking, thank fuck I didn't come out. But still to this day, anytime we're all out, he's checking his phone, he's checking those swingers.
That's hilarious. See,
well, I've just recently come out to my physical trainer. I've only been back to the gym for a couple of weeks. And what was it? He was asking me, what are you doing sort of weekend of the folk and boat? I was like, don't know, let me have a look. I went, it's my sweet treats party. I was like, yep, I'm dressing up as a sweetie and I'm going off to a party. And he went, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah. So that obviously stuck in his mind. And we're I'm doing my weights and going through my sets, and he keeps talking to me every time I'm trying to count, and I lose count. So then he's like, he says, "What's that party is it you're off to? Is it, I can't remember what he said, the first thing he said. He said something initially, and I was like, no. And then he went, "Swinging party?" I went, "Actually, yeah." And he was like, first of all, I think he just had to process it. And then he went, "Seriously?" I went, "Yeah." He went, "I've got a load of mates from when I was in the army that do." So then we got into so what's it like? So where do you go? Yeah, my mates are, and yeah, that was that, done.
Mr. N said the other day we were out and about somewhere, and Mr. M, we just had a normal conversation at the time, but it kind of then got on to the naughty hobby and things, and he turned around and he said, "Oh my god, I've just realised that I just talk about it now, it's just normal." Didn't you?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where we are, we just have that conversation. If anybody's listening, they're listening. It's just
it's normal. It's everyone else that haven't been liberated to actually being open and honest in who you are. To us, it builds our relationship, doesn't it? Actually, it makes us stronger because it makes us talk. It makes us more open.
Yeah.
We have more fun. Gives us a really good talking point.
Sat in a multi-story listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
As we do it in the quiet.
I love that.
A cup of coffee, or coming down sort of when we're on our way to a party.
Yeah.
And we have it on, still not finished yesterday's. But anyway, but yeah, it's a lot. People don't realise that it's not seedy, it's not underhanded, it's not dirty. I mean, God, how many times do you see on the Discord, has anybody sort of done their sort of physical checks and, got themselves checked out recently for hygiene and this, that and the other, hygiene and, condoms and testing and everything. It's normal, and actually that's what people should be doing. Is making sure that everything's good and
Shipshape.
Shipshape, absolutely shipshape.
Probably should mention boats, but
story about them.
Or presents.
Nowadays, some days.
I mean, I would imagine that a lot of us in this room, everybody's got different dynamics on how they play and who they play with and things like that.
I'm trying to think from a vanilla perspective, and one of the hardest things to try and explain to somebody who isn't in the naughty hobby is why we do what we do, what we get out of it.
A better relationship
Yeah,
between you and your partner.
It's a communication and it's that exploration with other people, and it just enhances what you've got as a couple.
Yeah, it's fun.
I find, yeah.
You're not looking for something different. As in, you're not looking to be with somebody else. You just go out, have a bit of fun, and
Come back to
that's
each
it.
other.
Then you come back to each other.
Yeah.
Or play with each other. We like to play together, so we like to be a couple, and whether it's play with other couples or it depends on what turns up, really.
And individually, who here thinks that it's actually made them a better person?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
No.
I'm a dickhead.
Everybody but Saucy thinks that it's made them a better person.
Actually,
in a volley.
good point, well made. I've always been a dickhead. I find I'm a better dickhead now.
I mean, for you,
For me, these last 12 months has been,
it's really brought you out your shell, hasn't it?
yeah, completely.
You're like a different person.
Do you
And
think
it's all
it's
down
like...
to this
We were saying that the
lifestyle.
other
Do
day.
you-
Confident?
Yeah, do you think it's also like, I mean, obviously we're all in couples and we're all, you know, we absolutely adore our couple, you know, our other halves and everything else. Do you think that it makes the love for each other on just such a deeper level that you can then be happy that you can see your partner playing with somebody else?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the trust you put in that
Oh
other
my
couple.
God. The smile that you see on other people's faces when
Yeah.
they know that their partners are receiving pleasure, it's unimaginable. It's better than Santa coming at Christmas. all right, yeah, okay, let's rephrase that. But yeah, to actually see, we like to give a lot of pleasure, don't we?
Yeah.
We like to see the pleasure on other people's faces. We like to see each other being pleasured. We're really weird because we don't seem to be the jealous type. If we see that our other half is getting pleasure out of someone, personally me, if I see that he's getting pleasure out of something that I can't do for him, that makes me feel really happy.
Really?
Really happy, because I know that I can't do it, and that takes the pressure off me. Because
do you feel guilty because you
No.
can't? No, I mean, but would you
I
have felt
used
guilty?
to feel guilty.
Yeah.
There were certain things. I mean, I can't give blowjobs unless you've got a flavoured condom on, because it really makes me feel sick.
Yeah.
I really, really react to it, and I don't know where it's come from. You know, we'll be seeing somebody about that. But anyway, how many years has it taken me to get round to being able to give you a blowjob with a condom on, just because I felt so guilty that I couldn't do that for you?
A long time.
A long time, you know. My eldest is 19, and it's before that. You know, it's been a long time.
Yep.
But what this hobby gives us is that it allows me to go out, it allows me to have pleasure and give pleasure in my way, but it allows me to see Roger having pleasures that I can't give him, and seeing him being happy.
And it takes the pressure off you as
It
well.
takes the pressure off me, and it allows me to then go back and go, yes, he's done it. You know, and I just love that feeling. I love seeing him being able to fulfill everything that he desires. Even because I'm a human being, I can't do everything, you know, and I'm quite open that I can't give blowjobs. And it bugs the hell out of me, because I see so many people really enjoying it, and I'm like, really makes me jealous, me not being able to participate.
Yeah.
But to see him being able to receive is just fantastic. I love it. Love
That's
it.
amazing.
And that young woman down there
What, the
was the
blowjob queen?
first.
That's a bus
The
day.
first bus day was the lady to do the deed.
I was in a playroom with Busty last week. It was
Saucy, no.
a Saturday night. We were out with a couple, and we've seen this a couple of few times, but about every 6 months, just because diaries. Right?
Yeah.
So we see each other probably about once every 6 months. And blowjob queen was in her element, as was the gentleman in question. and his wife and I just stopped and watched, right? And he got so excited, he was in full groily volume, and as he came, his back arched, and he was sort of sitting up a bit, and he bashed his head off the wall. Right? So he was really conflicted between the pain in his head and the pleasure that was going round. And myself and his wife just sat there and watched in awe, and she was just like, I love seeing
It's
him.
amazing, isn't it?
Right?
It's an amazing
I love seeing him sort of be that sort of pleasured and stuff,
that's awesome.
because it's also a different view.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what her and I were talking about it, because actually when she's giving a blowjob, she doesn't see his face.
Yeah.
Right? But actually when somebody else does, she can see his facial expression, see what he goes through, and she says, I absolutely love it. Sometimes I love to see his facial expression more than my own pleasure.
Yeah.
And on that, there is somebody in this room that I remember not so long back had such a pleasurable image on his face that could.
That was me, I think.
I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to. Yeah, but it had to be captured because you were giving Mrs. N pleasure.
Yes. I can't remember any of this.
Oh, I can. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I do remember. It was on the big bed.
It was on the big bed.
It was our first on the big bed.
Yeah.
And Roger was giving me pleasure, and Roger and Mrs. M ended up connecting in a very, very sensual kiss, and it was absolutely gorgeous to see. And then it just so happened to look over the top at Mr. N's face. Oh my God, if I could have bottled the pleasure on his face, the smile and the grin.
It was
God, it was amazing.
It was like I just ordered my first Ferrari.
Absolutely.
We'll take that, won't we? We'll take that.
How many couples do you know, vanilla couples, do you know that can actually feel that or say that?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
They don't get the depth of those feelings.
No. And that is a great way to end the show.
Actually, I've got a better way to end the show.
Oh, go for it, Saucy.
Everybody?
It's shit!